Imagine this. You're doing a bench press and you feel like you aren't getting enough from it. You're doing all the right technique, you're taking it to failure, and still nothing. I'm just not feeling my pecs. And then you think about what actually gets you to feel your pecs. Aha, a cable chest fly. So you go into that cable chest fly with the idea of activating your chest first before starting the bench press.
1 hour later.
3 sets of cable fly later and your chest is pumped. Now it's the time to hit the bench press. You do a couple of reps and your chest is already pumped. You're feeling the movement and your chest is fatiguing. You've unlocked the secret sauce. This is pre-exhaust training.
I can actually feel my pecs now.
So let's start off with what is pre-exhaust training. Pre-exhaustion involves performing an isolation exercise that is targeting a specific muscle before completing a compound exercise that is targeting the same muscle. So let's break that down. What is an isolation exercise? Think bicep curls for the biceps, or leg extensions for the quads, or cable flies for your chest. These exercises work a single muscle or muscle group in isolation, which basically means that it targets it specifically. Now we talk about compound lifts, and what compound lifts are multi-joint exercises. So think squats, deadlifts, bench press. These multi-joint exercises work more than one muscle group. So why do we pre-exhaust? Well, muscle hypertrophy. So the theory is by pre-exhausting a muscle, you can make the secondary muscles work harder in a compound lift. This increased workload might stimulate more muscle growth in the primary muscles that we're trying to target. However, obviously there is still some research that is catching up on this. Another benefit is that we can create a better mind-muscle connection with the muscles that we're trying to grow. The isolation exercise can help you to think about activating the muscle that we're trying to grow in the compound lift, thus leading to a better mind-muscle connection throughout the whole exercise. This just means that you're squeezing the most out of every single rep. So let's talk about some other potential effects. Joint health. Whilst pre-exhaustion isn't shown to directly affect joint health, by potentially reducing the weight that you lift in your compound movements, it could help you to maintain proper form and overall reduce the stress on your joints. So take, for example, if you were doing a leg press at 250 kilos, the stress on your legs and your joints is quite high. But if you pre-fatigue first with the leg extension, you might find that you can only press 180 kilos, which in theory is better on the joints. But also remember that proper form is key and it will save you from having any mishaps within the gym. Let's talk about fat loss. Now, while fat loss isn't directly affected by pre-exhaustion training, it might actually increase the intensity of your workout, which could in turn directly affect caloric burn in the long run. But obviously, don't forget that caloric deficit is the only way to lose body fat or body weight. Don't want to be implementing all sorts of different strategies to lose body fat and body weight without being a caloric deficit. Just doesn't work like that. So let's talk about how to execute pre-exhaustion like a pro. Number one, choose the muscle group that you're trying to connect with better. Pick that compound lift and the muscle group that it targets. Number two, choose an isolation exercise. Now select an isolation exercise that targets specifically the muscle that you're trying to connect with. So for example, you could choose a tricep push down as the isolation exercise for your triceps, and you could choose a compound movement, which is a close grip bench press, also targets the chest, but hits the triceps as well. Number three, implement pre-exhaustion. So perform the isolation exercise first. Do around 3 sets, taking that isolation exercise to basically complete failure, making sure that you're squeezing out every single rep. So usually the rep range is about 8 to 15, but you can choose what rep ranges you want to use that gives you the most stimulation. And also remember, proper form, making sure you're squeezing that muscle. Number four is only take a really short rest between these 3 sets, right? You want to make sure that those triceps are getting absolutely slammed and they're quite fatigued before you go into the compound movement. Number 5, perform that compound exercise. move on to the compound exercise that utilizes that muscle group. So like I said, you're doing a close grip bench press now, which is targeting your triceps specifically. In this movement, your triceps are going to take over pretty quickly and they're going to fatigue pretty hard, which is going to allow you to grow better. It's going to allow you to connect better. You obviously might need to reduce the weight that you typically do for a close grip bench press. And this is because the muscles are obviously fatigued, right? So maintain proper form and reach failure with that exercise without obviously killing yourself, right? Typically, these sets and reps look around 3 to 4 sets, and the rep range is about 6 to 12. So some things I need to tell you about this advanced technique first is that it is an advanced technique. It's best suited for advanced lifters or intermediate lifters who have quite a good base of proper form and technique and who understand how to be able to push their body as far as possible. Don't go too overboard in the isolation exercise. Pull back to a 1 to 2 RIR. Try not to take it completely to failure because you obviously don't want to be completely wiped out before that compound lift starts, right? Another tip is that pre-exhaustion can be a great way to vary up your workouts and provide some pizzazz, but it shouldn't be your primary training method. Make sure that you cycle it in occasionally to challenge your muscles, and you can use it if you find that your particular muscles that you're trying to target are lagging a little bit. And as always, safety first. Can't stress that enough. Always maintain proper form and select an appropriate weight that will allow you to achieve your desired reps in reserve. If you're new to resistance training, make sure that you consult a professional before starting any exercise program. So hopefully they can teach you proper technique so that you don't hurt yourself. So my friends, that is the pre-exhaustion training method 101. You guys enjoyed this, you understood, and you got something out of it, then please drop a like. I'd really appreciate it. If you also dropped a sub, that would be fantastic too. I'm on my way to 100. I'm like 5 off, which is freaking insane. I never thought I'd get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. It's freaking insane. So if you have any questions, please feel free to message me on the Instagrams here, and you can also contact me here in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a comment on this video like I did last time, and it was like, I'm a dickhead. You can also do that again if you want, and maybe put in Trent's a dickhead. That'd be hilarious. If you have any questions, you can also come over to my Twitch channel. Heaps of people in there asking fitness questions all the time. We do fitness stuff there. We don't do a whole lot of gaming, but we do some gaming, right? It's also in these in this YouTube lives as well. We do a little bit of stuff in there. Yeah, if you found that this was helpful, give it a like I said, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Let's do it. See ya. Hello. Have you given my video a like yet? If you haven't, then that's not good. Maybe do it. That'd be nice if you did. I appreciate that. You can subscribe too. That'd be fun. You get to see all these close-ups of my face. Bye.